Hey my lovelies, welcome back to another episode of the Euro Cooking Canuck. Once again guys, I hope you're all doing well and thanks for spending a part of your day with me. Guys, on today's segment of Memories of Macedonia, I want to show you kind of a school child favorite. What we're making today is MAKARONI ČORBA. Basically, it's a macaroni stew. The great thing about this stew is that you do not have to add meat if you don't want, so it can be vegetarian or vegan friendly. So guys, without further ado, let's get in the kitchen. There's really not much to say about this because it's just so delicious. It speaks for itself. Let's go ahead and make macaroni ČORBA. Haydi. Hey guys, welcome to the kitchen countertop. As usual guys, all of the amounts and the ingredients I'm using today will be below in the description box. Click show more. Guys, this recipe makes a lot, so if you want, you can have this, or if you have a big family or feeding a big crowd, double it. So what I'm starting off with guys is I have 2 medium-sized onions, which I've medium diced. I have a few cloves of garlic, which I've minced. Optional, I have a couple of hot peppers here. This is optional guys, you don't have to put it in. I'm just going to put in some rings. I'm going to leave out the seeds. If you have small children that you might want to omit the hot pepper, you can use a sweet pepper or just omit it altogether. Okay, so I have that. I also have 2 cans of sliced mushrooms, which I've drained and rinsed. Yes, I'm using canned mushrooms. In Macedonia, oftentimes they will use these type of mushrooms. They come in some kind of brine. They may be in a jar. They may be in a little sealed bag. They may be labeled as marinated mushrooms. So I'm sticking true to the recipe. Right. Oh, those peppers smell good. In my bowl here, I have my ground beef, okay? Right now, all I want to do is season it simply with some salt to taste. We're going to season this more, guys, so you don't have to go crazy right now. Some black cracked pepper, or cracked black pepper, however you want to say it. And guys, the meat is, again, optional. If you want to keep this vegetarian or vegan, leave it out. Okay. And then a little bit of garlic granules. I have a big clump in there. And guys, season to your taste, okay? And just a pinch or 2 of paprika because we're going to add more. All right. I'm just going to give this a light mix. And then we're going to go ahead to the stove. All right, guys, welcome to the stove. I have some vegetable oil in my pan. And I put a piece of onion in there, starting to sizzle. So I'm going to go ahead and add my onion. And my peppers, if you're using them. Just a little bit of salt. Let them sweat out because we don't really want these to be caramelized. Some black pepper. And I season in layers, guys. Gonna saute these until they start getting soft. And then we'll go ahead and add our garlic. Okay guys, my onions are starting to soften and smelling great. So let's go ahead and add garlic. Saute just for a couple of minutes. Once you start smelling the garlic, we can go ahead, if you're using it, and add your ground beef. If you're not using it, you will just go to the next step that I do once I add the beef in. In other words, you'll basically add the mushrooms and we'll start with the seasonings directly in the pot. Okay, that's smelling great to me now. Let's go ahead and add our ground beef. So soft, like Play-Doh. So guys, remember, we've seasoned our ground beef lightly before we put it in the pan. So right now, there's no need to go ahead with further seasoning until we go to the next step. So you're just basically now going to brown the meat until it's no longer pink. And when that happens, I'll show you what we do next. Guys, it happens so fast. Your meat's browned in no time. Meat nowadays, especially ground beef, it's quite lean. There's no fat on the bottom of my pan, so I don't need to drain this. You know, even the added olive oil, it's, you know, so it's great. So if you have a very fatty ground beef, what I suggest is push the meat aside, tip your pot over, and use some paper towels on tongs to sop up the fat. Right. Let's go ahead and add the mushrooms. Mix them through. And now we're going to go ahead and start adding some seasoning flavors. Going to start with vegeta or dafinka, red sweet paprika, plenty. The amounts will be below, guys. If you like to put in some hot chili flakes, I'm using, of course, Bukovic's Loot. Optional, you can. If you're serving it to children, go light. Give this a mix. Now, because we will be adding pasta to this later, I will salt it later when we taste it, because the vegeta is salty, and I'm going to be adding stock. So guys, find a little spot in your pot, and we're going to go ahead and add some tomato puree or tomato paste. Good. I'm eyeballing, guys, but I will put the amounts. Give your tomato paste a little zhuzh around. Get rid of the raw flavor, especially if you're using double concentrated. Now you can mix all this together. Oh, it smells great. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead now and add about 1 liter of beef stock or broth. We will be adding more liquid, but at this point, I want to now put this down to a simmer. So turn your heat right down low and let this simmer to let the flavors meld together, and then I'll show you what I do with it then. Hey guys, so my soup so far has been simmering away. I gave it a little bit of a taste because we wanted the flavors to meld. We're going to be adding pasta, guys, so pasta's bland. I did add a little bit more salt to mine, but again, we're going to taste it when it's all done. Okay, this is the time we're going to go ahead and add our pasta. Normally it's elbow macaroni. I'm using Celentani, which are elbows with a twist. Because where I live, guys, believe it or not, there's no elbow macaroni here. I know. I live on the island of pasta with no elbow pasta. So it don't matter, guys. Whole box goes in. That's 500 grams. I'm going to go ahead and add more hot water. It's not boiling now, just hot. Give this a stir, and I'm going to add some more because the pasta is going to swell significantly. And here's a tip, guys. If you want to reheat your pasta, just take out what you're going to reheat. Put it in a separate pot and reheat it that way. Don't reheat the whole pot, otherwise you're going to end up with really swollen pasta. This is just quite hot water from the tap. I'm going to turn my heat back up. And we're going to cook this until our pasta is soft. And then I'll show you the last final step. It's so easy, guys, but it's so good. And you can see why kids would love this. See you in a bit. Hey guys, woo, it's steamy. Our makaroni chorba is looking good. The pasta is almost really done. So at this point, I'm going to throw in the last element, which is some parsley. I just roughly chopped it. But guys, it's so warm in my kitchen. My parsley is wilting already. I'm going to turn down the heat now. And let this just simmer so the macaroni can absorb flavor. And then we'll serve it up. It's looking so good. Hey guys, our makaroni chorba is all done. All it's left to do, serve up. I always make a mess here. See? It smells so good, guys. You want some broth. Spill it everywhere as I do. Oh, perfection. Guys, if you want, you can even crumble some feta cheese on this. Oh yes. So, let's give it a taste. I did taste it, as I mentioned before, and I seasoned accordingly, and you should too. Because, guys, macaroni, it'll absorb the flavor, but it is bland. So, I want a little bit of meat and pasta. Mushroom. It's hot. It's comfort food, guys. I mean, this is like Macedonian hamburger helper in a way. But it's good because it has the peppers and the paprika, the vegeta. Dare I say you don't even need bread with this, guys. But if you want to, why not? Some toast would be nice with this. All right, I need to stop. Guys, I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. Please comment, share my video with your friends and family. And if you haven't subscribed, please come and join me. I'd love to have you. Guys, follow me on social media if you like. There'll be a few pics to follow, and please be good to yourself and to each other. Until we meet again, thank you so much. Follow Nogo. Aide Pretno. Aide. Ciao.